Welcome back everyone. We're going to be taking a real quick look at all of the gods currently in the Hades 2 technical test and a few of their boons that they have. Without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first up we're going to check out a returning god. Over here we got Poseidon.
As you embark on your fateful voyage yet again, my niece, I have something for you.
Alright, so always liked Poseidon in the first game, and this one he seems to be pretty much more of the same. He has a lot of knockback, you can gain more treasure and stuff. So here we got minor fines and money are worth more. Gain money, health, and sometimes, I think that's ash and psych. And then hydraulic might, at the start of each encounter your attacks and specials are stronger for 10 seconds. So he also has another one, it's like a dash knockback. He's got a few others, but I don't want to spoil too much if anyone's trying to keep it somewhat, you know, as a surprise. But pretty much the same as he was before, just a little bit extra stuff. Still good. Alright, before we talk about the next one, I want to take a moment to talk about our sponsor. It's Valancet, a great up-and-coming YouTuber that I have absolutely no personal affiliation with, except for the sponsorship that he's not even paying me for because he's a cheap piece of shit. He's got a lot of great content covering roguelikes and some other great games. Well, not a lot of them yet, but he's definitely a grower. Anyways, so go ahead and drop a sub, anything you can handle for the low price of free. And without further ado, we'll get back to the game. Alright, now we'll get back to whatever you actually care about. So here we got Demeter? Demeter? I can't remember how they say it in the game, but...
I was certain you were gone.
Possible exchange.
Alright, so she does exactly what you'd guess she does. She helps you freeze enemies, but pretty much what you'd expect. Your specials deal more damage and inflict freeze. Arctic Ring, your cast repeatedly deal damage in the area and inflict freeze. And Winter Coat, after entering a location, prime a barrier that absorbs 1 instance of damage. So, 20 magic, but if you have a good way to restore it, it works pretty well. So, pretty good for crowd control. She doesn't do as much damage as the other gods, from what I've noticed. But, still really fun, pretty useful. And up next, we have Aphrodite.
This family's not so good at letting go, is it?
Hey, little mama. How about you and I spending a little time mano a mano? Where are you going?
Alright, so Aphrodite pretty much focuses on applying weak to enemies, make them do less damage. And then also she gets a lot of like close-up damage buffs. So you've got like Flutter Strike, your attacks deal more damage to nearby foes. Flutter Flourish, your specials deal more damage to nearby foes. And Glamour Gain, in each encounter, one foe is always weak. You gradually restore magic near weak foes. So that one's pretty good if you've got a lot of her other buffs that let you put weak on a lot of enemies. You can restore magic pretty easily that way. And then otherwise, if you're going for like any kind of just, you know, close range build or something with maybe the Sister Blades or whatever else, she does really well. Alright, next up we have Zeus, the big daddy of them all.
The fates themselves knew Kronos could be overthrown by his own kin.
He's always real fun. So Zeus has a lot of, you know, chain lightning and stuff like that. And he has the ability to apply, I believe it's Blitz? Yeah, so Blitz is, after opponents take so much damage from it, they get hit with lightning. So he's got Heaven Strike, attacks inflict Blitz. Storm Ring, so your Omega cast causes lightning bolts to repeatedly strike one foe at a time. And your Sprint causes nearby foes to be struck by lightning bolts, which uses 3 magic each. So, pretty good, pretty much what you would expect out of a god of lightning.
Zeus, take you.
Alright, the next goddess we have is Selene. Go ahead and tell me in the comments if I said it wrong.
I draw you down, O moon. Lend me your light.
Now that Artemis has revealed to Olympus what they need to know of you, she had pretext to return to your woods. Your choice?
Alright, so she kind of works with Hex, which is kind of weird. So you have to spend a certain amount of magic and then you get access to kind of like a big attack. They're pretty big attacks. So you've got Lunar Ray. Hex fires a beam that deals it with 1200 damage over 3 seconds. Phase Shift, your Hex makes everything else move 80% slower for 5 seconds. And Wolf Howl, your Hex makes you rise up, then crash down in target area for 200 damage. So that one's actually pretty cheap to use. But they're all really good. They just take a little bit of a build up. It's kind of like I guess a limit break or something. And here we have Hestia. Hestia.
Oh, take it easy, teacher, is that it?
So Hestia does, you guessed it, she lights enemies on fire, does damage over time. Pretty good all around. I think I've taken her pretty much every time I can get her. It's just that damage over time is kind of nice. So Flame Flourish, your specials inflict Scorch. Soot Sprint. Your sprint destroys most ranged shots near you and inflicts Scorch on foes that fired. And then Glowing Coal. Hold cast to aim a fiery projectile that explodes on impact. The binding circle forms there. So, pretty fun. Damage over time. Nice little change to your cast to actually make it a ranged ability, which is kind of nice. And here we have Artemis.
Has my little brother lived up to his shining reputation so far?
Alright, so Artemis focuses a lot on marking enemies, which makes them take more critical damage, and in general just giving you critical damage. As a side note, she also shows up to help fight enemies sometimes. So she has Death Warrant. A random foe occasionally becomes marked. If it takes critical damage, this repeats. Easy Shot, a piercing arrow fires toward any foe damaged by your Omega cast. And First Blood, foes with at least 80% health or 80% armor may take critical damage, with 10% chance on base. So it's pretty good. Just kind of, you know, crits are just kind of all around good anyways. So that's Artemis. Oh man, I just have to say how long it took me to run into Apollo again, now that I was looking for him. Like, not even kidding, like 7 or 8 runs. I had to keep dying to stop from beating the game too many times again. Just finding it all. Anyways, this is Apollo. Here you go.
When Artemis first told me your tale, I figured it was just one of her pranks. Alright,
So Apollo has a lot of, you know, damage buffs and everything. I guess it's pretty much all the gods. But he also gets daze on a lot of his effects. So afflicted foes a 20% chance to deal no damage, which is pretty nice if you like taking a little bit of luck on stuff. So we've got Nova Flourish. Your specials deal more damage in a large area. Light Smite. After you take damage, your foe takes damage and inflict daze on all foes. And then Extra Dose. Your attack has a chance to hit 2 times. So pretty good. And last but not least, we have Hephaestus.
They told me you needed a weapon or something.
Alright, so Hephaestus, he kind of focuses on like explosions, you know, kind of boosting damage and stuff, it looks like. I actually haven't gotten him in a run where I chose him, so I haven't quite used him yet. But right here we got Volcanic Strike. Your attacks occasionally create a blast that deals 200 damage in the area. Anvil Ring, your cast deal damage 3 times in succession, but in smaller area. And fixed gain, you take minus 10% damage and restores magic whenever you take damage. Yeah, that's Hephaestus there. Alright, that's all the gods and a few of their boons without giving too much away. If you guys are liking the content, leave me a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if I said any of the gods' names wrong. I'm sure I did, and I'm sure you will. But until then, I'll catch you next time.